longus, extensor digitorum lateralis. Okay, this is it right here. This is what I'm talking about. Martha, come look at this. This proves... Ooh. Actually, I was wrong. You do not need to look at this. This will give you little kitty nightmares. Okay, Martha, now you can look. So the other photo showed where somebody had cut a horse like this one so he couldn't run. Right there in the suspensory ligament. Can you imagine somebody doing something like that just so a horse will lose a race? See, this is why I want to be a doctor for animals, because people suck. You do a search for extensor digitorum and you get photos of sabotaged racehorses. Are you even listening to me? This isn't just something that somebody did once. This is something that people do. And look at this lady. It was probably her horse. And now she's just like, oh, bother. Now I shall have to acquire a new mount. Bitch, I would be crying my eyes out. God, does she own every horse in the country? Or is she at these races because... Martha! She could be the one who's, you know, sabotaging people's horses. Jesus! Just a minute!
Hey, babe.
Hey.
Let me guess. You're writing the climax of your latest mystery. Really? Because that's when I usually see this level of detachment from reality, from commitments.
What I missed? The library.
You said 6:30. It's 8.
We were just gonna study, right?
When we study here, you always get distracted by something.
I do not always get distracted by...
And our exam's tomorrow morning, whether you're ready for it or not.
I've been studying equine anatomy all week long. I think I know a horse when I see one.
Really? Because it looks more like you're studying horse trainers.
Mario, you will do fine on this exam. You do not need my help.
I was helping you.
Well, we'll both do fine. Look, there's just something I need to... I'll see you tomorrow, right?
Well, kind of thought I was staying here tonight.
Not tonight. I'm onto something and I really want to, you know. Okay.
Okay. See you tomorrow?
We've traded horses for horsepower.
Good. Somebody can slash your tires instead of the hind legs of your... What the hell?
You missed an exam.
Oh.
Explain.
Sleeping?
On your keyboard? You must have been up all night doing this. Instead of studying, you printed out photos of...
A fascinating mystery woman who keeps turning up at crime scenes.
Holy Mary, Mother of God. Johnny?
And I feel pretty damn smart since you asked. Figured out how to get facial metrics from her photos, and I've been using that to find every image of her in the entire internet, and there are hundreds.
She's mixed up in this.
Oh, listen to this because it is amazing. So these guys owned race horses but kept losing because somebody was crippling their horses. So they own race cars now instead. And that guy, Colonel Barstow, his car got stolen. And the guy who designed the car tried to stop the thief, so they cut his goddamn hand off and left him in his garage to bleed to death.
That was interesting. But what's that got to do with the mystery woman?
I think she's the one who stole the car and cut that guy's hand off, and she may be the one who's hurting those poor horses.
And nobody put all that together but you?
It's possible, yeah.
Good. Good. You've blown the lid off the second most mysterious woman in America.
Second?
The first is Johnny Watts, who never misses a class or a lab, and certainly never misses an exam,
Mario,
and who is going to lose her scholarship because she doesn't know if
I
she
have
wants
a
to be a
4.0
veterinarian or a
GPA,
mystery
thank you
writer.
very
And
much.
now she's branched into investigative journalism.
You're through?
And you're eating cat food.
Mario, the reason I didn't want to date guys that I met in my classes is because those guys seem to think that they get to tell me what to do. You are! You're exactly like every guy.
Son of I told Dr. Christie I'd help at the clinic this morning.
You volunteered for clinic during one of your classes. Nice.
I just forgot, that's all.
It's the exact same thing I'm doing.
Not the same. Not the same. I got distracted. You got obsessed.
I'm not obsessed. Party guest solves crime. Oh, Martha. Martha, come look at this. Here I was thinking she was a killer and a thief and a hurting person. She could be some kind of detective. And her name is Sheridan Hume.
So we learned that a fortune in counterfeit stocks were going to be traded at this party, and by the time we got there, this beautiful woman, this Sheridan Hume, she had already figured out where the certificates were and who was going to be trading them. Well, I guess I never expected such a pretty girl to be the smartest person in the room.
Yeah. Because the two are mutually exclusive. Don't try to understand it. So, Sheridan Hume. Sheridan Hume and the severed hand. Sheridan Hume and the silver race car. Door's open.
That's how I got in. You said I should get over here as soon as...
Turns out she's a detective. How awesome is that?
You called and said I should come up...
Come see my evidence so you know that I'm not wasting my time.
Johnny! The department chair asked if you're in the hospital. Seriously, he said you cannot miss any more classes.
I learned her name.
Okay, Sheridan whom, so?
It's Hume, like the philosopher.
I don't know any philosopher named...
Read a book! David Hume, 18th century philosopher, said we're all a product of our own desires, no matter how much we think that we're choosing reason or
Listen
logic.
to me! Are you going to any of your classes this week or not?
Honestly, Mario, I have no idea.
I was wrong, you know. You're not obsessed. You're in love.
I've been neglecting you, my sweet. I have. And you've been so...
Ah, Miss Watts. You're quite a good detective. For a beginner. Ah, Miss Watts. You're quite a good detective. For a beginner.
How do you know my name?
Through the same means by which you learned mine. You said you had a theory?
But I never leave my name online. I have a bogus email and
But the internet protocol address points to the university servers at the Veterinary School of Medicine at your university, where a quick search of students finds only one who has self-published mystery novels, and who has a warning on her record for missing class the past few days, a time period corresponding with the 74 hours precisely that someone has been scouring the internet for every known photograph of me. So, when I receive a ping from a chat room with that IP address, I know that I have the honor of speaking with Janielle Honoria Watts.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's rudimentary. Your theory?
You got my records online and...
University web servers are notoriously porous. Your theory?
Yeah, okay, I was just, I was thinking that since the guy who got killed, he designed this car and...
Not the car, the unique engine that runs it. Here is a sketch made by a rival engineer who managed to get a glimpse without the inventor's knowledge.
Okay, but I was just saying that if somebody took this unique car, it must be somebody who wanted the secret for himself, right? So, I'm not saying that it was him, but Wilbur Morris owns the champion car, and if this one beat his...
That's exactly why Wilbur Morris was arrested last night. Apparently the police shared your theory of motivation.
Maybe they just arrested him for being named Wilbur, am I right?
Wilbur Morris was found to have, in the tool compartment of his Ford F-150, a cordless power saw capable of cutting through steel. Certainly capable of severing a man's hand.
And did the saw blade
Have blood on it? Oh, yes. And it was human. Now, I want to emphasize to you that the discovery of the power saw has not yet been made public.
But you know all about it, so you do work for the police, right?
I do not work for the police. In general, they work for me, although they're rarely aware of this fact. I solve mysteries which others cannot. That is my profession.
Oh, well, that's...
Your aggressive search for me proves that you have an extraordinary capacity for locating minuscule and obscure facts.
I'm a graduate student, that's what we do.
Well, you postponed those studies for several days to pursue me, demonstrating that you crave a mental exaltation above and beyond the study of veterinary medicine. You clearly possess a unique combination of gifts and interests, which make you my ideal assistant. By the way, I will simply call you Watts from now on, as it is efficient and emphatic. Now,
As damning as the power saw may be, I now suspect
Wait. I'm sorry. You just went from the police to you solve puzzles to why I'm your perfect assistant to a bloody power saw in about 8 seconds.
Yes, there is a great deal of information to assimilate. For example, this is a pork shank. Sample approximates the flesh and bone of a human arm. I cut it with a power saw identical to the one in Morris's trunk.
So you could see if cutting a man's arm with a power saw would result in the injuries in the photograph.
Yes, I have video. Ooh, watch carefully. Ugh, much cleaner cut than the one Kaiser suffered.
Of course, that piece of pork wasn't fighting back.
Yeah, it's a valid point to consider.
Sheridan, look.
Oh, call me Hume if you prefer. It's efficient and emphatic.
Yeah, Sheridan, I need some time to take all this in. You just popped up on my computer and started talking.
I understand you find me intimidating. Most people do. But I will need your commitment to being my assistant immediately.
I'm not even sure I should be talking to you.
Why not?
Oh, come on. I kept finding pictures of you at crime scenes all over the country.
I've been following the money trail of high-stakes gamblers who fix races through sabotage and coercion.
With police officers who clearly let you behind the yellow tape. And
Well, once they realize that our relationship can be mutually beneficial, yes. For example, I learned about the cordless power saw when I informed the police about the curious behavior of the garage security cameras.
it was turned off.
See? You have a natural flair for this sort of thing.
Thank you, but you're kind of changing the subject. I can't get involved with something that's on the wrong side of the law.
The wrong side? Watts, you forget that I've read your little stories, from which I took you to be someone who understands that the law is often very different from justice. Your stories depict the law realistically as a force that protects race hatred and gender discrimination and homophobia, so I was certain you shared my view of a higher purpose, a human spirit which transcends the restrictions of our frequently misguided ancestors, but perhaps I misunderstood what you were aiming for.
No. I agree with all of that. I didn't mean that you... I'm just saying that it's just too much for me to take in all at once. And anyway, I don't understand why somebody like you would need anybody's help with anything.
I don't need help.
I believe I am second to none in my ability to gather facts and to reason accurately from those facts. You, however, possess a distinct skill set which has very little to do with reason.
I was expecting this.
Sheridan, are you... Whoa. Whoa, Sheridan! Whoa, Sheridan! Oh my god, you just... I don't... What do I gotta call... I don't know. Talladega. How do I do that? Why am asking you. Oh my God, 911, 911, 911. Oh my God, oh my God.
Coming back with a gun, bitch.
Well, that might be rather pointless if I've broken all your fingers.
I got friends outside. You want to go on living, you'll let me up.
I want to know why you bludgeoned a perfectly innocent Locke.
I come here to tell you to mind your own goddamn business.
Well, you didn't have to tear down the door for that. You could have phoned. You could have even written it on a postcard.
What the hell's going on?
Hello there. This man just bludgeoned your Locke with a 10-pound sledgehammer I'm sure you'll find sitting somewhere in the hallway.
What do you do that for?
Well, he says he came to deliver a verbal message, but I'm pretty sure he came to intimidate me with his masculine physicality.
Ow!
Do you know him?
This is Leroy Dollenberg, a local thug for hire and wanted by the police, so if you wouldn't mind. Down, boy.
How are you doing that?
That's simple once you learn a few principles. It's an English variation on a Japanese technique.
Ow!
Awesome.
So if you wouldn't mind just calling the police.
Oh, yeah, wait right here.
Thank you. She says wait right here.
Ow!
No, sir, that's the problem. I don't know exactly where she is. We were talking on a video chat and... No, it is not porn. Lots of people... Is there somebody else I can talk to? Oh my God. Oh my God, I bet that's her. Just hang on, okay?
I apologize for the interruption.
Are you okay?
I'm perfectly well.
She is perfectly well. What in the holy hell was that?
Well, that was Mr. Leroy Dollenberg, now in custody.
It sounded like he was beating your head in.
Oh no, just the shoddy lock on the shoddy hotel door. But I subdued him quickly and turned him over to the grateful police of the city and county of Talladega.
You subdued?
Almost surprising since he's a paid enforcer. Gets paid to beat people up. But tonight his job was to terrorize a woman, and so he did what most men do.
He underestimated you.
I see you're familiar with the phenomenon.
Yeah, I am. So they're gonna move you to another room, right?
This one suits me perfectly fine. There's a police cruiser parked outside with 2 armed guards. I've never been safer in my life. But you're missing the point, Watts.
Tonight's attack is the most important development in our case thus far.
You pissed somebody off, so you must be getting close to their secret.
Exactly. This attack is a direct response to my investigation into the lives of Colonel Barstow and Wilbur Morris. But I'm no closer to a motive, so this is where your assistance will be very handy.
And I appreciate that, but I don't know if I can do this.
Of course you can. I have complete confidence in you. Contact me if you run across anything new. Or if you have a gut feeling.
Right. Don't say bye or anything. And don't say I'm sorry if my getting attacked scared the shit out of you, because it did, god damn it. Martha. She is a crazy person.
Don't you think she's a crazy person? Just nod if you think she's a crazy person. Well, she is.
She is a crazy person. And she has taken over my brain.
on schedule. Why, Mario, I'm ready. If I didn't know any better, I'd think you didn't trust me to get myself to class.
Yeah, but you're dressed.
Yeah, check it out on that whole go to class nude thing.
But you're still working on this?
I can do both. Did an hour of research last night. Go to 8 hours of classes today. Fair compromise, right?
Yeah, that's great. I'm really happy.
I'll be ready to go as soon as I put up this card about Colonel Barstow being married 6 times. Colonel my ass, by the way, dishonorably discharged.
Okay.
And this one about Wilbur Morris betting his family fortune on this race.
And that's all?
That's all. Okay, Martha, say goodbye. Mommy's actually gonna leave the house.
But really, this is all. I mean, you're just looking up stuff for her. You're not gonna, I don't know, try to meet her or go do something.
I'm not running away with her, no.
See, I gotta tell you, from the first minute you told me about her, that was...
I'm having an epiphany.
Go to class. I'll get there when I get there.
You're really doing this again? What are you doing?
I am going to make a video call to Sheridan Hume, and I am going to blow her gigantic mind.
Look, you're not even making any sense. I'm really starting to get worried here.
I'm not insane. You just came in the middle of something.
Oh, well, that was good to know. So is there anything I can say or do to get you to hang up and come to class?
Short of physical force? I don't think so.
Ah, Watts. Excellent.
Hey.
Am I interrupting something?
What? No.
All right. Okay. I'll leave you to chat with your girlfriend.
She's not my girlfriend.
Is that your boyfriend?
He's not my boyfriend. What? This.
It's Martha. Oh, sorry.
So, I was just petting her and I realized she has wrist bones. I mean, not like yours and mine. She's a cat, but structurally very similar. Radius and ulna, small bunches of carpals and metacarpals, and right here, there's not that much holding us together. I mean, these little bones just float in soft tissue.
This relates to the method by which Kaiser was murdered.
Yeah. I mean, Kaiser and Martha and you and I, we all have this structure where our bodies are vulnerable. So his hand could have been yanked off or held twisted off. No cordless saw needed.
Well, that would account for the ragged injury as opposed to the cut.
Or either one of which would leave his ulnar and radial arteries to drain.
This is excellent, Watts.
But you already thought of that.
I may have visualized it a bit more simplistically.
Well, nobody's perfect.
This fits perfectly with the technical detail I learned last night. Kaiser's engine had a curiously placed neutral safety switch, possibly a safety measure to prevent theft.
And it was on the engine like that?
Exactly. Impossible for a thief to access from the driver's seat, but if someone started the car and someone else defeated the safety switch...
His hand could have been down in the engine when somebody cranked it.
Exactly, but who forced him to put it there?
It has to be Barstow, or someone he hired.
Has to be. What's your evidence?
Seriously? Barstow was kicked out of the army because he ran from a firefight, and he's had 6 wives.
Yeah, but is he a thief and a killer?
No, he's just the kind of guy who falls apart in the face of conflict, and he panicked about the race, so he did something desperate and stupid, but he was too scared to do it himself, so he hired that Leroy guy.
Watts, you know that's not evidence.
Yeah, I know, it's just a gut feeling, but
it makes sense. Okay, here's how to prove it. Only one of our two suspects would be losing sleep over whether or not Leroy's behind bars blabbing secrets, see? So if Leroy's still in there, then our man is Wilbur Morris, like everybody thought in the first place. But if Leroy's been sprung because his boss got scared, then Barstow is behind the... Hello.
You should go to your classes today. I'll be in contact when I need you again.
What are you...
I'll explain later, but excellent work, Watts. This is exactly what I needed.
I was there. That's all I'm saying.
Well, you were and you weren't. You know, if you're sitting in a lecture hall but doing web searches on race car owners, you might as well have stayed home.
They saw me. Professors and peers saw my face.
They saw the top of your head.
Okay, this is ridiculous. We cannot keep doing this.
I agree.
Tell the truth. Is this about me talking to Sheridan instead of going to my classes, or me talking to Sheridan instead of spending all my time with you?
It's, both.
Why does it matter so much?
Because. I love you.
Then why don't you want me to do what makes me happy? What turns me on intellectually? What makes me feel like I'm alive?
I thought those were the reasons you wanted to be a doctor.
They are, but life isn't just...
Moment of truth.
Don't put that on me. That is not fair.
No.
No. But I gotta take this call.
Ah, Watts, I see that you've completed your classes for the day.
Yeah. Yeah, where were you?
I was quietly spreading the word that Sheridan Hume is vulnerable to attack.
What?
Yes, I spent the afternoon on a scenic tour of Talladega County's finest trailer parks, gossiping with Leroy Dallenberg's tight-lipped friends and neighbors.
And they talked to you?
Oh, no. They talked to Raven. Soul and beauty school dropout. I sometimes impersonate.
Okay. Disguise. Awesome.
Raven made a point of telling everyone who might be hiding Leroy that
The woman who put him in jail had recently lost her police protection.
Hiding Leroy, so...
Your instincts were entirely correct. Leroy Dallenberg never went to jail. He was released upon his arrest by a mysterious benefactor.
All right, so now what? Do you try to catch Leroy and see if he'll confess and maybe implicate Barstow while he's at it? Wait, would he do that?
Well, we'll find out soon enough, won't we, Leroy?
I can't decide whether I want to kill you now or make it take a while.
Should have gone with now.
Oh!
Back it up.
Holy crap! You knew he was coming?
Of course I did. I sent away my police protection to complete the illusion, with the understanding, of course, that they'd come back as soon as this scumbag walked in the door. Now, let's assemble the components. Someone hired you to surprise Kaiser as he approached the garage. You held him at gunpoint until he turned off the security cameras and opened the doors.
Then you tried to start the car, but it wouldn't go into gear, and you couldn't figure out why.
I knew it wouldn't. Boss told me it wouldn't go into gear.
Your boss knew in it. Wait, Barstow?
Well, of course he knew. The damn car was his.
Wow, this is easy when the suspect is this stupid.
So then you held Kaiser at gunpoint until he undid the safety switch.
Then you threw it to drive the first instant you could because you clearly have no patience and don't think things through.
You shut up.
Throwing Kaiser off balance, his hand slipping in the path of the serpentine belt.
And just like your boss, you panicked and started to drive off.
But then you saw Kaiser's metal cutting saw on the floor, his blood already on it.
Wait, how'd you know the saw was his?
I looked up the serial number.
The number was clearly visible in police photographs.
The warranty was registered to Kaiser, so it was his saw. It must have been in the garage when the blood got on it, and then you had the brilliant idea of picking it up and dropping it in your rival's truck.
Well, the dumbass doesn't lock his toolbox.
Careless of him with so many thieves around. Thieves who would leave an injured man to bleed to death.
Oh. Go ahead and shoot. I can't go back to jail now.
What's he talking about, Watts?
Well, I don't mind being caught. I've been caught before. But you ain't even a cop. You're just a woman.
If it's any comfort to you, Leroy, it actually took
2 women.
2 women working together.
Good morning, Watts. Are you surprised I'm the one calling you?
I was just kind of surprised at not being able to reach you instantly, much less for several days.
Well, I've been very busy giving lengthy depositions in the Barstow case. After that, airports and airplanes. On to my next case.
Something else already?
Always. You interested?
Sheridan. Yeah, this is the best thing that Yeah, I'm always gonna be interested, but at the same time, you gotta understand, I've let my studies go completely to crap, and my parents have invested a fortune in my education.
Come on, Watts. You and I both know that you're on scholarship, and that is not a valid excuse.
Will you stop doing that?
Yes. Okay. I understand.
And I probably should spend more time with this guy to whom I've been kind of a jerk, you know? And you know what else would help? If you would stop calling me Watts. It's like I'm a 3rd grader and you're the assistant principal. Hang on, that's probably the guy.
You prefer to be called Johnny?
Since I was 3 years old.
So, Johnny, pack your bags.